Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all in today's online history class, and today's chapter that is same. It is the second class on that is chapter number 9, the life of early man. In the last class, that means in the first class of chapter 9, we discussed about which thing, the life of early men, who are called as early men, or who is called as early men, what type of lifestyle, what is the difference between early man and modern man. Next also we discussed about their life, what type of lifestyle, what type of things they were eating, where were they living, what type of work they were doing, etc. we discussed. Next also we discussed about the place of origin of mankind. I told you that, and you have already seen that it is not the exact information, but it is one type of guess, and it is one type of thinking that Africa, it is the continent from where the mankind originated. Then gradually they spread over different type of different continents. It may be Asia, Europe and America, but the place of origin was Africa. Next also we read in last class sources of information, because I told at that time we were not there. So that's why how to collect the information about the past, about the life of early men. There are three sources present: remains of objects, tools and fossils. Next also we read about Stone Age. What is the meaning of Stone Age? The age when stone tools were used for different type of activities. It may be protection, it may be hunting, it may be crop cultivation. That is called a Stone Age. Next also we read in last class phases of the Stone Age, and I told there are three phases present: Old Stone Age, which is also called by the name Paleolithic Age, then Middle Stone Age or Mesolithic Age. Middle means it is between Paleo and Neo, that's why it is called as middle. And last one is Neolithic Age or Neo Stone Age. So today we will discuss about which thing, these three stone ages in detail. So first of all, at first we will go for the Paleolithic Age or Old Stone Age. So let us come to the Paleolithic Age. So what type of lifestyle was there, what type of activities were done by the Paleolithic man, etc. We'll find out what type of food, and also that they were living where, etc. we have to find out here. So Paleolithic Age, and the men, those who were living in this age, the men were called as Paleolithic men. So the Paleolithic man prepared stone tools, because I have already told and you have already seen Paleolithic Age means it is also a Stone Age. So Stone Age means stone tools were used. Why they were using? To defend themselves from wild animals. That is one. Next, that is they also the Paleolithic man also used the stone tools for hunting animals, chopping meat, cutting wood and digging. Not only protection, but also these activities were done by the stone tools. The tools were known as core and flake tools. There were two types of stone tools present in the Paleolithic Age: core and flake. So what is the difference? Let us see. The core tools were made from large stones. That means saying you want to make a stone tool. First of all, you have to collect one that is large stone. So you have brought the large stone, then you have to break it, and then you have to give a shape like a tool. So when you are making the tool from this large stone, that one that you have already made, at the time of making of this tool, some part of the stone is broken, and these broken parts are called as flake. So core means that you have taken a large size of stone, then you wanted to make or convert this large stone into a tool, and so at that time some particles of the stone separated, broken. These broken parts are called as flake, and the main part of the stone is called as core. So when this main part is used to prepare the stone tool, that is called as core tool, and the broken parts are used to make the tool, then it is called as flake tool. Okay, that is the difference. So always remember, core tools are larger and flake tools are smaller. because flake tools were made by the broken pieces of this large piece of stone for this reason. Next, that is these tools, that means stone tools, were crude and unpolished. That means these were, there was no such type of change. They were not polishing them, just as usual. Whatever the look of the stone, the tools were also looking like that. There was no such type of change. They were not giving that type of any kind of polish, etc. That's why it is called as crude and unpolished, because they were not knowing about this type of skill. Next, that is the man of this period was food hunter. Food hunter means they were hunting animals, and gatherer means they were going to the forest, and then they were collecting the fruits, that type of things which are eatable from the forest. That's why they were called as food gatherer. The greatest achievement of man during this period was the discovery of fire. Discovery of which thing? Fire. It was the greatest achievement. So before going to this one more thing I want to say, that you can ask, sir, why that Paleolithic man was food gatherer? Because that time they did not know how to cultivate crop, how to do the crop cultivation. That's why they were collecting which thing, that is fruits, and they were hunting animals. That's why the Paleolithic man was called as food hunter and gatherer, because they were not knowing about the skill of crop cultivation, about agricultural activities. So now come to the next point, that is I have already told and you have seen what was the greatest achievement, that is the discovery of fire. Now you can ask that how did they discover this fire? The greatest achievement of man during this period, Paleolithic man during this period, was when he accidentally discovered. That means it was not pre-planned thing that they were planning, they were practicing how to discover the fire. That is not, just accidentally when they were rubbing the two stones, at the time of rubbing, at the time of friction, due to the friction, fire discovered. That means it was just an accident. It was not pre-planned. It was not that type of thing that they were trying so hard to find out the fire. It was not like that. It was totally accident. So just they were rubbing two stones and suddenly they saw that that is fire discovered. That is just an accident. So what was the importance of fire in the life of early man? Let us find out what type of importance. So already I have told and you have seen, fire was the greatest achievement of Paleolithic man. So what type of benefit or advantages they got from the fire? It provided him warmth in the cold weather, because that time they were not living in that type of houses, or that time they were not having that type of blankets, etc., that they can, or that type of dresses that they can protect themselves from the cold weather, or that is winter season. That's why fire was the best option to protect them from the cold weather. And next, that is also not only that is protecting themselves from that is cold weather, but also fire helped them and kept them safe from the wild animals, because they were living in the caves, they were living on the trees or beneath the trees. That's why they were not protected by the walls. That's why they needed some protection, and who provided the protection? That is fire. From whom? From the wild animals, because at that time they were living in forest, they were living in caves. They did not have any permanent house, they did not have that type of house like the modern lifestyle. Next also, that is he was able to roast raw food. After hunting, they were roasting the food with the help of fire, which made the food tastier and also softer. These are the that is the importance of fire. Now come to the next age. It is called as Mesolithic age or Middle Stone Age. Why is it called as middle? I have already told. It is between two stone ages. Paleolithic and Neolithic. Between these two ages it is coming, so it is called as Mesolithic age or Middle Stone Age. In the middle of whom? In the middle of Paleo and Neo. That's why it is called as Middle Stone Age. So what type of interesting things happened? Let us find out. In this age, tools were more developed. It is the difference. It is the difference between Paleolithic and Mesolithic. In Paleolithic, tools were just normal. They were not polished. They were totally crude. That type of things. But now in the Mesolithic age, the tools were more developed, because in this age people developed themselves to make better tools. That's why Mesolithic men also started to use bones and horns. It is also another difference. In Paleolithic age, only stones were used. Two types of stones, core stone and flake stone. Now in this age, that means in Mesolithic age, side by side, that means including stone, other two things were used to make the tools, bones and horns. The man of Mesolithic age started making huts with the branches of trees. It is also another difference. So in the Paleolithic age, I have told they were living in the caves, they were living beneath the tree, they were living on the branches of the tree. That type of houses were there. These are not called as houses, these were called as shelter. But now in the Mesolithic age, people started to make their huts. And the huts means by which thing? Branches of trees and leaves of the trees. That is the difference. He continued to eat. That is same like the Paleolithic age, what type of things they were eating. But here another that is huge difference present. In Paleolithic age, I told they were hunter and food gatherers. But here that is what? The Mesolithic man became food producer. So food gatherer, food producer. What is the difference? Gatherer means that already it is present in the nature storehouse. You are going and collecting, then you are eating and you are using for your daily life. And food producer means what? That you have to use the natural products, then you have to convert this natural product into a new type of thing. That is called as production. So that means food producer means we have started to do the crop cultivation. We have land, nature is already provided land, nature is already provided soil, water, sunlight. Our duty is what? By using these things means land, soil, water, sunlight, air, etc. By using these natural things, we have to produce crop. That is the difference between food producer and food gatherer. Clear? Gathering means just collection, not producing anything. But food producer means using the natural products but producing or converting these natural products into a new type of product. That is the difference. So that means in Mesolithic age we started to do the crop cultivation or the agricultural activity. And as we know, agricultural activity means we need water, and that's why they started to live. They means Mesolithic men started to live where? Near the river or lakes. Water not only required for drinking but also it is required for the crop cultivation. That's why they moved close to water sources like rivers and lakes. Next, that is the beginning of agriculture. Already I told you. He also started taming animals, because one more thing, when you want to do crop cultivation, you have to plow the land, and when you want to plow the land, you need animal for plowing. That's why they started to tame the animals. And it was believed that it is said that also dog was the first animal to be tamed by man. Which animal at first tamed by man? That is dog. The Mesolithic man protected himself from cold and rain with the skins of animals. It is also different from the Paleolithic. In Paleolithic, there was no such type of clothes or no such type of things to wear, but in Mesolithic age, they used the skin of the animals, which is also called as hides, to protect themselves from cold and rain. Now come to the next age, that is called as Neolithic. Neo means new stone age. So during this period, man prepared new stone tools, that means more developed tools, which were harder and stronger. More strong, more hard. He became a skilled tool maker. That means now Neolithic men more developed, more experienced, more knowledgeable. That's why they started to make new type of tool which were harder and which were stronger. That's why they were called as skilled tool maker. He started polishing and grinding his tools and weapons. Polishing and also grinding means that we have to give that type of, that is finishing, that it can cut anything easily, it can hit anything easily, that type of thing. The Neolithic man started growing grains like rice, wheat, etc. He regarded earth as his mother. That means they were thinking that their earth is like their mother, and that's why they started to worship the earth. And in this age they started to follow that is different type of religious activities related to religion. The Neolithic men believed in life after death. It is very interesting that generally we are thinking that when anyone passed away, anyone die, we are thinking that life is finished. That means life is gone, there is no chance of new life. But the man of Neolithic age believed that is what life after death. That means after death a new life will be started. And that's why, due to this type of thinking that after death a new life will be started, whatever the things this person used in this present life, these things also were buried with the dead body. Why? Because they believed that after death again this person will start a new life. That's why these things, whatever the things used by this person in this present day, these things were buried with this dead body, because they believed in the next life this person wants these things for his or her needs. That's why the Neolithic man believed in life after death. The dead were buried along with the objects like beds, like pots, like tools, etc. that they used in their life. It was believed that they might need them in another life. Understood what I have told? So I have told that generally we are thinking that that anyone died, that means life is that is the end of life. There is no chance of new life. That is very rare, and we are not thinking there is another life present. But the men of Neolithic age, they believed that is what, that there is a chance of new life, life after death. That means a new life will start, and in this new life this person who already died, this person needs these things. That's why these things were buried with the dead body. The cultivation of crops and domestication of animals were the important achievements. It is already discussed in Mesolithic also. As he did not have to move constantly in search of food, he started leading a settled life. That means in Mesolithic age we have already seen that is what the Mesolithic men started to produce the food, that means crop. That means when you want to do crop cultivation, when you want to do that is agricultural activity, you have to that is be busy in this activity minimum 3-4 months. So when you are busy in this activity for 3-4 months, you will not move from one place to another place. You have to stay there, because you have to do the crop cultivation minimum for 3 or 4 months. So you have to stay there. That's why they started to live a settled life. Settled life means permanent house, permanent living. They at that time in the age of Neolithic, that means in the new stone age, they were not moving from one place to another place, because they have to do the crop cultivation, and that's why they have to stay at one place for long time. That's why they started a settled life. That means permanent settlement, permanent houses. And when they started to live a settled life, gradually the concept of family was developed. So when you will start to live a settled life, you will see that is what a concept of family, thinking of family will be developed like that. So in which age concept of family was developed? In the New Stone Age or Neolithic Age. Another important thing which we have not seen in other two ages, the Neolithic man knew about or learned the art of knitting and weaving. Knitting and weaving, that means making of clothes, stitching of clothes, etc. He started weaving clothes with wool and jute. He started to practice religious activities. The most remarkable invention of Neolithic man was the invention of wheel. In Paleolithic age, what we saw? We saw that we have seen that that is the greatest achievement was the invention of fire. Now here, that is the remarkable invention is the invention of wheel. And the man of Neolithic age was responsible for developing the first pottery. That means the pottery, this skill, this work was started in the Neolithic age. Why? Due to the invention of wheel. Whenever we want to make pots, we need wheel, and invention of wheel occurred in the Neolithic age. That's why pottery also started in the Neolithic age. So what is the significance of wheel? Invention of wheel, the most remarkable invention, already I told, in the age Neolithic age. People used the wheel for making sledges and chariots. Chariots picture is given here. It is one type of that is vehicle used to move from one place to another place. And also wheel help them for spinning and pottery. Spinning means it is the method to make the thread from the fiber. Fiber means it may be cotton, it may be jute, it may be wool, etc. So making of thread from the jute, wool, cotton, etc. it is called as spinning. So students, that's all for today. Next day we will discuss about other things. Some things are left. These things will be discussed, and I will provide you the class note later. Let me complete the chapter, then I will provide you the class note in a that is well arranged way. So that's all for today. If you have any query, if you have any problem, if you want to share anything, so put up the query through the proper channel. Thank you.